Hello, welcome. We are together with Nancy Haegel, who is the Center Director of Material Science Center in Material and Chemical Science and Technology Directorate in NREL. So she is with us here at KAUST for the KAUST Research Conference for synergetic approaches for the energy applications. So I want to welcome you again. And actually, I want to start directly with the questions. As you know, as researchers, we are trying to build some technologies in the lab, but also we want them to make it for the public, for the humanity. So in your opinion, which solar technology will lead the market? Maybe we can divide it like outdoor, indoor, or the portable applications.
Okay. Well, first, let me thank you for the invitation to be here. It's my first visit to KAUST, and I'm very impressed. We had an excellent conference. With regard to impact and photovoltaics, we already are seeing that, of course, for providing lower cost energy around the world. In our home in California, for example, photovoltaics are now producing close to 16 to 17% of electricity. So we are seeing a lot of impact. As we go forward, silicon, as you know, is the dominant technology for utility scale and rooftop. We would anticipate that will stay the case for a while. On the other hand, as demand grows and opportunities grow, we will probably see not just one technology dominate, but more take over in areas of particular application. And particularly as we move into some areas where we use value in other ways, for example, in aerospace kind of applications or portable applications. In that case, lightweight is important, flexible. We think that gallium arsenide and 3,5 materials, which are really outstanding solar cell materials, can play a bigger role if we can find lower cost manufacturing. So that's one reason we work on lower cost manufacturing. A lot of excitement now about perovskites and solution-based processing. I think that story will still be told. And thin films also have a role to play. I think they can be lower cost. So looking forward, I think we'll see a wider range of technology specialized for applications and for different locations around the world.
Yeah, maybe we can say that kind of a customized technologies. Maybe
both in terms of manufacturing and use. And local economies.
Yeah, as you say, perovskite now is the lost star, let's say, in the research. Would the toxicity of the perovskite solar cells be in the way of commercialization? What do you think about that?
I think it's too early to say.
Okay.
First of all, we're learning about the physics of these materials more and more. So you're thinking about the lead, for example?
Yeah,
or the
this is the
solid.
main problem.
So, we're still learning what the role of that heavier atom is. And it may be over time that we are able to achieve high efficiencies with something that's not lead-based. At the same time, we also know, I think, how to contain materials. The actual amounts of lead are going to be very small. And we also have to take a big systems look. I think we'll begin to recycle materials. We will certainly encapsulate these materials. We started out with lead in solders, in silicon modules as well, and we reduce it over time. And the other thing is we have to take a big look. I mean, for example, there's a lot of lead in car batteries, and we have a lot of cars, right? And you can imagine over time that as we start to imagine solar fuels, perhaps that reduces the use of lead acid batteries in cars. And so I think it's a bigger look, and we'll just have to see with time.
Okay, okay, I agree, thank you. So maybe I can ask about your recent works in your center, in your labs in NREL. So can you just talk about them?
Certainly. We work on a variety of PV technologies. We also do material science research for other kinds of renewable energy and energy efficiency. So we have a wide range. Number of exciting things. As I mentioned, we're interested in lower cost manufacturing for photovoltaics. we're very interested in developing new characterization techniques. That's my background, and although I don't do as much research as I would like, we're literally interested in techniques where we can watch individual electrons kind of move within structures. So that's an area where we're interested in the growth of new materials, perovskites, new alloys, and then we're seeing growing research in battery materials because we realize how important storage will be to the future.
Energy storage.
Energy storage.
That's really nice. Yeah, thank you. So this is the last question. This is actually for us, the young researchers. Could you please give some advice to the young researchers? I don't know, maybe I can ask about the women in science. Maybe we can make it a bit more specific.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, my first advice would be true for anyone, man, woman, older, younger, and that is I think we have to stay very close to what excites us about science. I always ask my folks, we meet about a lot of things at work, about our research, but also about budgets and all the things in an organization. But at the end of every meeting, I always ask them, so what are you excited about? And I think making sure that you're doing work that you are excited about is really critical. It's that passion that drives science and brings new ideas. So I think it is important, maybe not every hour, but a little bit each day and certainly each week, to stop and think what you're excited about in your work. And then the other thing is to always be attentive to the new idea or the new direction, something that's a little bit off, something you don't quite understand. We want to make sure that we realize those are opportunities to be explored and not always problems to be solved, right? Sometimes the best work comes from something you don't expect. And certainly when I was a faculty member, what I tried to do was get my students started in some direction, but then hope they would discover something much more exciting along the way. So I think that's my advice. Always be looking for the more exciting thing along the way.
I really like your sentence, being excited what you are doing and always just keep this passion with you. Yeah, thank you so much for this short interview.
Okay, my pleasure.
Yeah,
And pleasure to be here to meet you.
Yeah, nice.
And if you're always welcome at NREL if you're traveling. I hope you come visit us.
Hopefully, thank you.
Sure.